Greetings from the Steubenville Youth Conference in St. Paul, Minnesota. We're currently on a little bit of a break right now. We've been here for, I would say, the hours that we've been awake for since the conference started, probably about 12 hours. Again, cutting out the sleep time. And from that time, of the 12 hours, I have heard 3.5 hours of confessions, right? So like confessions like crazy. There's, I don't know how, it's at least 2,000, maybe like 2,500 kids who are here, and I encourage all of them to go to confession. So at one point there were like 30 priests hearing confessions all at one time, which is amazing. And so the thing that I want to share, and I'm going to do, this is going to be a little series we're going to do for these next 5 days, is that a lot of times in the confessional, I end up hearing a lot of the same things, and as I hear a lot of the same things, I end up saying a lot of the same things just to try to help people with things that they tend to struggle with. And so my thought is I'm going to pick 5 things that are like some of my favorite things to share in confession, because maybe they'll help you with things that you struggle with, right? Since these are things that I hear a lot of, maybe it'll help. So the first thing is, a lot of times people will say like, you know, I confess something, but I still feel guilty. I still feel shame. Or, you know, I confessed it, but I don't feel forgiven, right? And sometimes I think people stay away from confession because they're like, yeah, you know, I can go, but it doesn't really feel different. Well, guess what? Jesus said to the apostles, whoever's sins you retain are retained. Whoever's sins you forgive, they are forgiven, right? And so we need to trust that. And so my line that I love sharing with people who might be struggling with that to feel like they're forgiven is simply this. And it sounds absurd, but I'm actually glad it sounds absurd because I think it makes a lot of sense. It's pretty clear, right? And it's this: don't think for a second that you are better at sinning than God is at forgiving, right? I'll say it again. Don't think for a second that you are better at sinning than God is at forgiving, right? If I were to tell you right now, you have 10 minutes to come up with the most heinous act you could ever think of, like the most horrible crime, the most horrible sin you could ever do. If I were to give you 10 minutes, even if I were to give you an hour to do it, and then you were to go do that thing, God would be like, oh, so you did that? Okay, yeah, my mercy and my love is infinite. And so, like, Jesus died on the cross. He already put in the hard work, right? You can work really hard at sinning. He put in the hard work of dying on the cross so that he can forgive you now. He is always better at forgiving than you could ever be at sinning. There's nothing you could do, nothing. No matter what, you're worse than you've ever committed. God's like, oh yeah, so I died on the cross for you. Like, guess what? Like, it's already been paid in full. So know that the Lord loves you. Know that when you go to confession, you are able to be forgiven. And so I will say with that right now, please, if you have sin on your soul, if it's been a while since you've been to confession, or if you have something that is really heavy, come to confession, please. Right? The reason why I've heard 3.5 hours of confession is because I know it's important. And so I'm willing to do it for all the people here. I'm willing to do it back home. Priests are willing to do it. All the time, priests are in the confessional, and I will tell you that a lot of time, I sit in the confessional without there being a line, without people coming. You know what? I don't want to sit there. I get bored. So please save your own soul, right? Through God, let God save your soul, and also save me from boredom. Come to confession and be relieved, and let the Lord take your burden away. Have an amazing day, and God bless you.